Hey everybody, Razor here, back for another tank review of the Taschenratte Tier 11 German Super Heavy right after the mouse. Arguably probably one of, as of right now, one of the best Tier 11s, if not the most overpowered kind of Tier 11 in the game, mainly because a lot of people just don't know how to shoot this thing, mainly due to the armor, how this thing works out, but we'll get that sorted out for you, try to help you guys out like this so you'll be able to help take these things out more effectively on the battlefield now. Taschenratte, honestly, because you need block damage missions or anything, this thing is going to be your beast. Like this, as you can see just from overview of stats here. We go right to the characteristics of this thing. I think its main armor damage is like 510 or like 500 something around there. I don't have the full field mods on this thing, which we'll go over in a minute, but 11.5-second reloads, not bad. 8 degrees of gun depression, beautiful aim time and dispersion. Dispersion's not terrible. Of course, you see me with all my perks and everything, decked out crew. Of course, like this, the equipment I am running. This is a bond hardening because you see that hit point pool of almost 4,000. This thing has a lot of health, so that also just beautifully displaced everything you need. Damn thing slow, needs a turbo. Uh, 250 effective turret armor. The turret armor is probably some of the best turret armor in the game. The front is flat. There's are some points you can get, but it's going to depend on angles and where you go. So we'll go over that and everything. Of course, some things over here to the upgrade menu. Of course, you want to get towards the end here because it helps reduce your main thing. Your main power special ability is these two little auxiliary high explosive shooting guns. And boy, do weakly armored tanks hate these things, because all of a sudden you can clap someone for 1,000 depending on your rolls. It's phenomenal. A very good annoyance tractor too. A lot of early on too, we shot these things to, especially for new players. One thing that we love doing is to shoot the auxiliary guns at someone who doesn't know. So it makes it seem like they fire, so you fired, so you poke out. Then you shoot your main battery gun, make this and hit them perfectly. Then they bounce you. It's a fantastic trait. But going on to the armor of this thing, uh, just how effective and stuff that it is. We're going to take a look here. You get the whole armor and stuff here. 185 upper hull. This lower plate's a small lower plate to get because of how big these tracks are. This thing's angled. Yeah, you're not really getting into it. Like, look at that, 400 something meters of pen. There's no penetration. You're not getting anything with that. It just, but my God, you need. And this is just using the hacker, by the way. You have to go through heat rounds. It just that's where you're more fully here. The one downside to the Taschenratte with the armor, if you get above it, his upper plate is Swiss cheese. Because look at the hacker. Look at the hacker heat. The hacker heat, 335. It's as soon as you start having any ability to shoot down on this thing, this front, just like the IS-7s, this front area is just Swiss cheese. The heat. Like this overmatchable 50 hull like this. So if you're like a FV or anything like that, something with an over 150 caliber gun, anything that's 150, yeah, 3 roll mechanic, anything that's 150 millimeters or more, you're gonna overdo the roof deck on this thing. The fun thing about the Taschenratte is trying to shoot these weak points here. Now, like this small cheeks like this, but if you can get these cheeks here, the cheek armor is right in here on both sides, and no matter how the turret, the fun thing is too, when the turret turns, it's going to get worse. So then you can't really hit it. But the fun thing, the weird thing is about the Taschenratte, that this starts to become a weak point over this. So, and then you go over here to heat. So, like, literally angling the turret is very difficult on this thing. It's something that you need to be mindful of when you are doing it. But the thing is, got the when it's using its 8 degrees of gun depression, it still doesn't really matter. The heat rounds in the hacker, like anything with high heat pen, like this is gonna work on this thing. Very thick side armor on this thing too. Like this, so like, don't be so like, be careful how you're shooting. And then it also has 65 millimeters of friggin' splash protection and everything else. So don't be surprised if your shell gets ate up by the tracks. It happens so often for people like this. So when you are fighting this thing, you literally don't want to shoot from this part up because it's literally just track. Like this, unless you are really, really high pen. This APCR, I wouldn't really fight heat towards here. If you're gonna fire heat, you just fire toward this section here, and fight up top. Then of course, when you get towards the ass end of the tank, again, don't really shoot the turret. Shoot through here. This is your weaker part of the armor. The turret. This is not as is stronger than the rear armor here, so definitely shoot the rear armor on this thing. There are some shots that you can get with certain guns here. It does to where the armor model here, because of the space armor, is going to block it. But there are some shots that you can get with this thing that actually goes from the track into the hole. It's a sneaky shot, but it's like somewhere where if you angled into here, yeah, like right about in here area, you can get a sneaky shot in like this. But again, you gotta be high pen, and I really recommend shooting in here. The main thing is if you get a high pen gun, you definitely want to shoot towards this on the top of plate when you're aiming down. Lower plate's a gimme like this, but the main weak point of it is shooting through here on this. And honestly, the mantlet's also pretty good Swiss cheese. If you just ignore the parts around the gun that's surrounding, but if you aim towards this spots here, like you see how some are going from 92% down to not 70 or 80 or anything, or 65 here. So like literally, if you got a high pen gun, this whole front is kind of like your bread and butter where you want to shoot this thing. Uh, so, but yeah, this, as you can see, just look at the greens, how this thing works when you're using like just with the hacker heat there. This is beautiful. And we switch it up. Like this is something that doesn't have as high as pen. Like let's go to like if you're a tier 10, because the majority of people at tier 10 are still getting tier 11s and stuff into the game. Like let's go type. You know what the AP pen is? The AP pen's 290. So this type fighters will struggle against this thing. Something with like low pen. If you don't have at least like 300 millimeter, even 300 to 310, like this, it's hard to pen people and stuff. But like this, the way you gotta shoot these things when you have those low pen tanks, you gotta be above it, and you have to shoot down on these plates here, just because it's really the bread and butter of this thing. All of it's thick boy slow armor. The thing doesn't have the mobility, so trying to get the advantages on it. Like this now, doing this is all easier said than done, but you know that's how it works and everything else. And that's honestly about as simple as it gets when it comes to penning this thing. It's just knowing what you need to know and knowing what your tank capability is to shoot this thing. It's also the same thing you gotta do when you fight against one of these things when you are it's yourself. Equipment wise, this is pretty standard. It's going to be hardening turbo rammer. You can, and if you feel fancy, upgrade yourself into the experimental turbo so you can help out with the gun. The gun is still good even without it. But yeah, this will be your bread and butter with this kind of tank. So, pardon me for the yawn. But we'll give you guys a nice little quick battle in the Taschenratte. See what we can do here. Just right off rip, give you guys a nice battle. Get to show how this thing works. And there are some times you're gonna find out too, because it feels like the armor just doesn't work sometimes. But that's usually sometimes your mistake. You're over angling. You can play this thing like a mouse, but at the same time you have what's the word I'm looking for? You have to move a lot more than you do with a mouse because it just feels like the armor. So they get those random armor flashbacks to the your plane 100% all the time. So you want to go here, like a little better, and Tasha, slow as shit, we'll get there as soon as possible. You see my ability cannon, how it's moving towards the yeah, I'm still, again, I feel I'm still not fully trained on this thing, but once you get those, it's not like the KR1, though, where the KR1 really needs those upgrades for that ramming ability. Taschenratte's ability is mainly just used for training the gun. It's just like your bread and butter is thick boy armor, it's hitting guns, blocking targets, being a menace. I could go past it. Like this. But I just think that'll be annoying. Here. Big more armor.
See this race to the finish.
Slow enough to basically almost fully engage the airstrike sitting there watching the match out. don't. High pension, grab half, probably the only way I know you know him, but I don't know where he is there. I'm sure that he's I'm not worried about his speed way. Oh,
They hit our track.
get out from this crossfire. I bet you don't think I can shoot you from here. And that may have made a rock or I gotta be a little patient. Camera pressing these. Why give me no.
We fixed the track. They won't stop Tommy Shelby.
As I said about those 1,000 shots, example. Perfect example. Hello, Auntie. Hello, boyo. And this is such nice. Oh,
When you're on the back foot.
yeah, right in the turret face. That shot right near my mantlet. As I said, the armor works on this thing, but it hates high defense. The armor is definitely not as fantastic as it is. I could just trundle our way over here to the castle. Just move on from there. Like this is basically Taschenratte gameplay 101. Get in, deploy armor. Skip right. Oh. Wow.
Penetration. Got some nice
Got me
for
at the
that,
end,
gentlemen.
but
We'll reconvene back at the garrison.
this is Taschenratte. Probably the easiest 5k damage of your life. Honest to God. But yeah, guys, that's the Taschenratte. I just hope you guys enjoyed. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Think there's something what I can improve on, something what I couldn't practice. Some advice. What do you think I should change up with the videos? And I hope you guys have a good one. Thank you.